All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys had an incredible weekend. Welcome back to the Lang Trading Chat Room. It is May 30th, 2023. We only got 2 days left in the month. So, like I said, hope you guys had an awesome weekend. Hope you had a nice, relaxing Memorial Day. Ready to rock and roll. Get back after it again today. As always, if you're new, it's going to go something like this. We're going to start off with the market bias, take a look at the SPY and the QQQ, determine which way we think the market's going to head today. After that, we will take a look at the favorites list on the right-hand side of the screen right here. Once we review that list, it will be market open. We will begin day trading this list. So if you guys have any questions about how I'm day trading, maybe how about your trading, any questions at all, make sure you ask those in the chat log. As always, guys, make sure you're practicing that proper money management. This is a very challenging business. You're not going to get rich quick or earn while you learn. So make sure you're doing it the right way. Make sure you're managing that risk. Start off with very small risk and then incrementally work your way up till you're full-time professionally trading. So with that, let's get started on the markets, guys. We got the SPY and Qs gapping up today over resistance. If this was a stock, I would really like this gap. If this was any of like an actual like Apple, so any of these stocks, I would really like it. Gapping up over multiple pivots, up have a little bit of a void to run up to that like 430 area. But since this is the market, since it is the SPY, I'm a little bit less bullish on this gap. So yeah, we're gapping up. I would not be surprised if we kind of just chopped around. I mean, the air's getting a little bit thin since last Thursday. We're up almost 3%. So on the markets, that's a pretty sizable move. So especially with the Qs are up a lot more than that. So we are bullish, we are gapping up, but I am just a little bit hesitant because we're getting a little bit extended up here. So be mindful of that. Could see a little bit of a pullback in the markets today, but at the moment, going in with a bullish neutral bias. So leaning towards the bullish side, but we do have some nice short ideas that could drag the market down. So we will be keeping a close eye on those, close eye on the short side as well. So let's start going through this list here. First up, we have Apple. So Apple, nice little gap, gapping over that red bar pivot. Hasn't been as strong as the SPY and the Qs recently, but this gap is pretty nice, gapping over this pivot here at 176 as well. Should have room up to about 180. So keep an eye on the Apple. If the markets end up being strong, going higher, this thing should definitely follow suit or maybe even lead the market. So watch the Apple. Next up, we have SoFi. So SoFi is gapping over a nice consolidation over these this pivot to like 550 over these moving averages. Should have room up to at least $6, maybe even the 630 area. So keep an eye on the SoFi. I like this void that we're trading into. I mean, there's a little bit of junk here, but this one red bar should kind of negate that. Should have a little bit of a void up to that 630 area. So watch the SoFi. Next up, we got Google. So Google, another one. I mean, similar to the market, similar to Apple, gapping up. I have Amazon on my backup list. I have Facebook on my backup list. I mean, all the fat mid stocks are gapping up with the market. A little bit extended, but we will keep an eye on them. The Google, I do like it because it's not as extended. So it kind of came up here, consolidated a little bit, and now we're gapping up. It was gapping up like just right at that pivot when I first put this on my list, pulling back a little bit since then. So I'm going to want to see it over that 126.50 area before I'm really interested. But still a nice gap. If the market goes higher, probably a place you want to be. First idea on the short side is this Exxon Mobil. So this one actually looks pretty good. I really would like to see it under 102. Under 102, it looks really nice. So got room to get there. Average range is good. Doing good volume in the pre-market. So watch the Exxon short. Really the whole oil sector short. So we got CVX on here as well. Oxy is another one that you can watch if you want another short idea. The CVX and Exxon are just a little bit better in my opinion because they are in that void. You know, I'm gonna go ahead and put CVX up there instead of Exxon actually. CVX is already in that area we want it to be at. So keep an eye on that energy sector short. CVX, Exxon, both can watch. Next up, we have CNCSA. So another one which was gapping down right at like the 39 mark when I first had this on my list. It is a little bit weak on the volume in the pre-market. So we're going to need to see some more volume come in. But under that $39 area, I do like CNCSA. It's been pretty weak compared to the markets recently. So watch that for a move under support there. Next up, we have AMLX. So this one's gapping down. It is a little bit extended coming off these three pretty good sized red bars. So really not my favorite short idea, but nonetheless, it is gapping into a really nice void, doing so with some decent volume. So we'll keep an eye on it, but might be on the backup list sooner than later with that AMLX, but worth watching at the moment. Next up, we got CRM. So CRM gapping up, nice little 3% gap. Got a little bit of this resistance right here in the 222 area. So want to see a little bit of strength out of this thing early to make sure we're over that spot. But still a really nice gap. It's been a really strong stock. Got earnings tomorrow, so probably gapping up related to that. So keep an eye on that CRM. Next up, we got ChargePoint. So this one's gapping up. Another one was like just below that little pivot right there. So I really do want to see it over that pivot right there at 921. So keep an eye on it. It's right there, right where it needs to be. So we get over that area. We're over that 50 period moving average. Keep an eye on this one. Should have a void. 950 shouldn't be an issue. Really should have all the way up to $10. So keep an eye on that charge point up to that area. Next up, we have ON on, I think, semiconductor, isn't it? Let's see here. Yeah, on semiconductor. So this one's gapping up. I believe it's an all-time high as well. So yeah, gapping up to an all-time high. So really strong, nice move on the ON, gapping over this little double top right here. So this is actually one of my more favorite ideas, just because it is gapping that all-time high, gapping over that resistance. It is a little bit extended up here. We got some wide range green bars, but for all intents and purposes, it should be good to go higher. Maybe it chops around a little bit. We'd love to see that, but I do like this one on the long side. I have quite a few backup long ideas as well. I guess, what time is it? We got a little bit of time. I'll roll through these real fast. So Facebook, gapping up, a little bit extended. Keep an eye on it. Ford, another one, had a nice big green day on Friday, gapping up again into a little bit of resistance, but we can watch it. Maybe we get a move up to like $13 or something. PDD, another one, gapped up, ripped, gapping up again, right below that 200, and a little bit of a pivot right there at was this 69 7 or no 72. My bad, I was reading the low. So right at $72, got a little bit of resistance up here. So keep an eye on it, but not my favorite. Tesla, another one, big green day on Friday, gapping right into that 200 period moving average. So you can watch it, but this is why it's on my backup list. CCL, another one, gapping up. If it gets over this pivot at 1150, I do like it. I have an alert set for that, so we'll watch it. But another one, it's going to need to do some work before I'm really impressed. So that's why it is on the backup side. Next, Netflix, another one, pretty extended. It is gapping into a void though, so we will watch it maybe after the first 15 minutes or so. Amazon, a little bit extended, gapping up, so keep an eye on it. And then Crowd, another one. So all these backup ideas, the main reason I don't have them on my list is, well, I don't have room, first of all. And second of all is, good morning, Casey. How are you doing? They're just most of these are a little bit extended. So with the market being extended, I was a little bit hesitant to put these ideas on my list because, like I said, I wouldn't be real surprised with the market pullback. But we have a few backup ideas as well here, McDonald's and the Oxy. So got some decent backup ideas, pretty stout list today. So I definitely think we should find something to trade. We'll see what these markets are giving us, though. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we had kind of a bullish, neutral kind of day, maybe even a bearish neutral day as we pull back to the 421 area on the SPY. So we'll see if we end up chopping around, going higher. But like I said, kind of a neutral bias going in here today because, I mean, really anything could happen with these markets nowadays. So, yeah, there's the list. What time? Oh, we got about 30 seconds till the market opens. So as always, if you guys have any stocks, cryptos, ETFs you want to have me take a look at, make sure you throw that up in the chat log. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the Lang Trading Discord channel. It is free to join. Link is in the description below. We got some great trading resources in there. You can ask any questions about building a trading plan, get some personalized feedback. So make sure you check that out. All right, and with that, guys, market is open. All right, let's get down to business. So right off the bat, these first three long ideas are pulling in pretty good. Google, SoFi, Apple, all pulling back pretty good. There's CCL. CCL is moving up. I'm gonna put CCL on my list. Actually, I do like that pretty early. Gapping, getting over that $11.50 area. So I do like that. Delete that there. All right. Yeah. So CVX. Oops, I have X on over here still. Hey, good morning, Sniper. How you doing, man? Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys had a fine little 3-day weekend. It was pretty relaxing, I thought. Had some good weather, at least. That was lovely. Could not beat the weather this weekend. All right, so C and CSA is moving up. This AMLX kind of hanging out. Apple's putting in a bit of a bottoming tail. Google's pretty weak so far, putting in a nasty red bar. CCL is looking good. Keep an eye on that one. ON is pulling back. CRM kind of chopping around. ChargePoint pulling back pretty good. Yeah, so keep an eye. Exxon Mobil. Exxon, I really do, like I said, I really want Exxon to get under 102. So I'm going to hold off on that one for a little while. CVX, however, I do like it's right at that 150. We'll keep an eye on the CVX. I mean, 150 is definitely an area of support on this thing. You're definitely going to see some sort of price action at that 150 spot. So be mindful of that. Guys, Apple's still looking decent, actually. Apple putting in a big bottoming tail, kind of like a pseudo 3-bar play on the 1 minute there. So keep an eye on the Apple. And this CCL is one that I really do like here. I do like the CCL quite a bit. Volume is great. Really strong move off the open. Want to see a little bit of rest. We're up 3 big green bars in a row, so a little bit of rest would be great on the CCL. None of these other backup ideas are really doing much at the moment, so C and CSA is ripping pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and watch that CCL instead of CDX, or instead of C and CSA. And this one's up quite a bit. If it gets back down to that $32 area or $39 area, we'll watch it. But right now, looking like it's gonna be a bullish move. SPY just chopping around right now, putting in a bit of a bear sandwich. Or, bear sandwich? Yeah, bear sandwich. My bad. Definitely a bear sandwich, which warrants a bullish move. So SPY's looking a little bit bullish right now. Qs have pulled back, bouncing a little bit here. SoFi is all the way back up to high of the day, so keep an eye on that one. I do still like this quite a bit. You're looking at Netflix, Casey. I'll get to that in just a moment, my man. Apple's still looking higher a little bit. The CCL, guys, keep an eye on this one. Some sort of breakout buy setup or something on CCL. Watch it. Let's see what Netflix is doing here. Netflix is ripping higher as well, so keep an eye on that. You're getting it on Netflix at 400, stop at 362. So you got quite a big stop there. Ford. I don't know if that adds up, Casey. 400, you got a $38 stop loss. You said your target is at 412 for 2-to-1 win ratio. That's not exactly, that math doesn't exactly add up. You're going to need like, what is that? You're going to need like 460 out of that thing for a full 2R. So, yeah, might be in that one for a little while. It is gapping up. It is strong though. Okay, guys. Apple's still ripping higher. Apple's still moving up. SoFi still looking good. Google's pulled in quite a bit here. Google's actually looking pretty weak. The CCL looking good, guys. Keep an eye on CCL. This buy setup is a little bit tempting. It is. That is a really big move. Really big move off the open. So buy setup is aggressive, but it's there. Watch it. CVX moving up a little bit. AMLX is moving up as well. So not much to do with that. CRM is looking good. CRM is looking strong right now. A little bit of a range concern here early on, but keep an eye on it. ChargePoint still not doing too bad either, so I'm gonna go ahead and put ChargePoint up here instead of AMLX because this thing is kind of ripping a little more than what you want to see a short stock rip. All right. CCL, I mean, it is tempting. I'm not gonna lie. 1172. You probably give it a low of the day. We probably wouldn't even need to do that actually. Um, 1172. I'm thinking maybe a 15-cent stop on this. I really just don't like how this bar right here is like basically the entire day's move. And this first three bars are 39 cents. Average day is only 45, so you really don't have a whole lot of room there. All right. So be mindful of that. Stay patient. Markets are rolling over here a little bit, putting in some red bars. So still really not sold on this bullishness in the markets. We'll see how they hold up here. Coming back down to the low of the day pretty quickly. Qs are down there as well. So like I said, I'm really not sold on this bullishness just yet, guys. Just not sold on the bullishness just yet. Gap up over 380. Are you talking about Netflix still? Yeah, no, it definitely did. But I was just saying your entry at 400, the stop loss at 362. It's like a $38 stop loss. You said target at 412. I mean, that's only an $11 move for a $38 stop. So I was thinking you're gonna need like a 480 or something like that. Gap up to the 480 area maybe. Is that a 480 maybe? I don't know. As a CMCSA, or not CMCSA, I keep saying that. CCL is what I keep talking about. So we're pulling back a little bit too. Markets are pretty choppy here so far. First 7 minutes of the day, we got not a whole lot of direction here on the SPY or the Qs. Not a lot of direction. Pretty ugly price action right now, actually. The Apple really did just rip. Kind of a pseudo 3 bar play. Maybe you could have gotten that, but it was very aggressive. SoFi, guys. SoFi. Still like this. Still got a little bit of range left. Just needed a little bit of consolidation, some sort of pattern there. Google's still looking weak. CCL is kind of hanging out. That's why I was really worried about that buy setup, guys. That was just a really big move to go get that buy setup right off the open. So CVX moving up a little bit. Charge point still going higher. Is it better now? I think it says it's working on my end right now. Back in business. All right, perfect. Good. All right, guys. Apple's still ripping up here. Market's still chopping around. And I am interested in the SoFi. SoFi is a little bit interesting right here, so keep an eye on that one. Google, I don't like Google really. CCL's pulled back quite a bit, so we'll keep an eye on it. But it's pretty strong move back. Charge point, we can keep an eye on the charge point. I do like this one. Should have some room to run at least up until that. I guess it's at 950 right now, so not a whole lot of range there, but we'll keep an eye on the charge point. That CNCSA is all the way back down to low of the day, so watch this one under a low of the day. CNCSA is all the way back down there. Telling me sellers are in control of that CNCSA for sure. Forward not looking great, so you can keep an eye on the Tesla up here. Tesla has quite a bit of range left. Should have room up to about 207-ish. So we got some range on the Tesla. Markets are looking a little weak right here, though. Markets are looking a little bit lower, SPY especially. Yeah, under this 421, 422 area, the SPY looks pretty weak. Qs are just kind of pulling back, a little healthy pullback, nothing to be worried about on the Qs. Yeah, the CMCSA is a little bit interesting under that low. Honestly, lost audio again? What the hell? You guys hear that? It says it's working on my end. The little bars are going up and down. Oh my god. I don't know. I think it might be working. We'll see. Guys, markets are pulling back up here. Markets are getting a little pullback, so showing some weakness right now. Spine Qs, you're going long on the Qs. You're getting a little bit extended up here, Casey. I mean, I think the spot to go long might have been this breakout like 324-ish, because up here at 353, you can't hear me? Okay, perfect. Good to hear. Thank you, guys. 352, stop loss at 338. You got a pretty safe stop. Market could definitely pull back and not tag you out. Target of 368. I mean, we definitely could continue to run up here, but like I said, this is already a pretty good sized move in the markets. So, I mean, a pullback is definitely expected at this point. You get a 50% retracement right at the 330 area, you might be in some trouble. But yeah, we're just a little bit extended up here in the markets, in my opinion. We have been strong, but I don't know if 370. It's not actually. It's not in too far out of the range of possibility, but it's a decent stop. So you might get there, but just be mindful. We are pretty extended up here in the SPY and Qs. Getting the breakdown on the SPY up here. CBX. None of my short ideas are really doing much. Really would like one of these short ideas to give me a better pattern. What is the McDonald's doing? All right, so let's get off this 1 minute chart. Switch up to the 5. There you go. And we're gonna rescan the list, see if we can't find anything up here. Apple, SoFi is looking weak now. Google's weak. CCL. We can keep an eye on the CCL. Actually, it's not too bad up here. A little bit of a deep retracement, but give it like a low of the day stop, 15 cents. Don't even need the high of the day up there. So keep an eye on the CCL, guys. Keep an eye on CCL. Might be getting into that soon. Charge point as well. Charge point. Not a bad area to get in up here. So watch that for another couple minutes. The ON, no. CRM, nothing. Exxon. Exxon's moving lower, so we can watch the Exxon. Tesla, you might be able to get a long trade on Tesla. It's showing strength right now. Ford is not, so I'm taking Ford back off my list. All right, guys. CCL is probably my favorite idea at the moment. It is a bit of a deep retracement here, which is the main concern. You're retracing 70-80% almost, but be careful with that. But going right here, I'm not gonna get into that. It's under VWAP. Yeah, I'm gonna hold off on that. I think that's just a little bit too aggressive. Markets are still kind of chopping around, grinding lower a little bit. CVX, guys. Keeping on that CVX under low of the day. Be like $1 stop loss. So you'd be getting out right above that support area. So watch that. All right. AMLX is basically junk. Probably not trading that one. Don't have to worry about watching it really anymore. You can keep it on the Apple for a buy setup potentially. It showed a lot of strength early on, so maybe we'll get a little buy setup on that scalp out, 1R or something. So keep an eye on that one. SoFi is looking pretty weak at the moment, so I'm not really gonna be a fan of that. Google's just getting worse and worse. That CCL, it's trying to go. It's trying a little bit. Charge point is all the way back up, breaking out there. You're looking at SNPS. Let me take a look at it in just a second, brother. Had to get in at best price. All right. So I don't see a whole lot right now that I'm like super hot to trot on. You're looking at SNPS. 445. She got in right here, 445. She got in on Friday, looks like. Stop loss 434. So just under that low there is a stop loss. And then target of 465. So looks like you got the target. It was a little bit extended up here. Big gap up, 2 big green days. So kind of caught a break that the market ended up gapping up today and ripping higher, but nonetheless, not a bad position. Definitely a strong stock. Is that an all-time high? Yeah. So trading those all-time highs, that's like that right there. Buying at 393 was like the best spot. Broke out, big volume, igniting volume, pulled back, rested, pulled back right to support, and then just ripped. So getting in at 393 would have been the spot, man. That would have been the spot. Could have gave like a $30 stop loss. It wouldn't have mattered. So that's like the safest spot to buy a stock on a chart. Right there, the buy setup after a breakout, one of the safest spots to buy a stock right there. Big volume breakout, pulls back to support. Usually one of the better spots to buy a stock. Apple's pulling in pretty good here. SoFi's kind of bouncing a little bit. Google is weak. CCL is trying to get it done. Like I said, if I was in this, it would have been 15-cent stop loss, so you would have needed 11.75 out of it. So you're only up a few pennies right now. Hey, you're welcome, man. You are welcome. That's what I'm here for. That's what you guys are here for too, I suppose. A couple tips like that, change your day, change your life. All you need is a couple good trades like that, man. Oof. A couple of those core trades that just you hold them for a couple months to years. Something like Nvidia, man, that'll change your whole account around. Don't try to get rich quick and try to risk it all on one thing. But man, if you had like 3 to 5% allocated in Nvidia or something like that, man, a couple of those trades really do help out. All right, I'm gonna scan my backup list real fast again here. Ford's still chopping around. Guys, I do like that Tesla. I want to watch Tesla. It's looking like one of the stronger stocks out right now. The Tesla native. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Actually, I'm gonna watch it over Google because Google just doesn't look that good. Yeah, guys, watch Tesla over high today. Showing pretty good strength. Get in. Be about, I don't know, 250 on the stop loss. 250, so you're going to need 207 basically. Yeah, all right. It's pulling in a little bit more right here. So, guys, I'm still not sold on this on the bearishness. I'm kind of leaning towards the bearish side right now. Markets have been pretty weak. Would love to get some sort of short position, but I really don't see a whole lot at the moment. I'm not seeing a whole lot here. AMLX looking higher. Oxy. Guys, let's watch Oxy actually. Oxy's coming right up to that area of support. Under that, should have a pretty nice void down to like 56. McDonald's looking a little higher. I'm going to watch the Oxy. I'm going to watch Oxy. JBL. Looking at JBL, Casey. I will be checking that out in just a moment, my man. So yeah, keep it on Oxy. Keep it on the CVX potentially. Exxon needs to move. I don't really like Exxon, especially not over that 102 area. Really don't like Exxon over 102. Want to see it get down there first. So getting a little bit more bearishness in the SPY and the Qs. Qs are now at low of the day as well. So we did have a bit of a divergence there for a second, but now the Qs have caught up. They are looking weak as well. So stay patient here, guys. I'm not rushing into any sort of long position. Yeah, there goes the Tesla pulling in as well. CCL is doing a decent job, up about a half hour. Charge point, it's getting a little bit extended up there, so be careful with that. Thanks, I don't see a whole lot, man. Like I said, I'd really like to get one of these short positions, some sort of short trade. That's where I feel like the market's going right now. It's looking pretty weak. CVX under the low of the day is not that good. Oxy, need a pattern down. Like we just need some sort of pattern on some of these guys. CSA. Exxon, we need more out of it. Let me check my S&P real fast. Target's just been getting crushed lately. Just absolutely hammered. Dow. This one's a little bit interesting, guys. Sell setup forming on the Dow right here. I'm going to watch that. I'm going to keep an eye on the Dow. Otherwise, we've got quite a few oil stocks going lower. This COP isn't a horrible idea, actually, under that $100 mark. So keep an eye on COP under 100. USB is another one you can maybe watch. All right, I'm gonna get back to my list here. And thanks for the follow, my man. If you guys, like I said, if you have any questions or comments, make sure you ask them. Casey, let me check out that JBL. Just give me one second. I'm gonna roll through my list real fast again. I'm not really liking any of the long ideas right now, guys. Not a huge fan of any of the long. CCL's pulling in here as well. CVX still kind of hanging out, so I'd like to see some more weakness out of these oil stocks. Really would like to see a little more weakness. Yeah, all my long ideas are looking pretty weak. Even on this Dow, guys, I do like that. Dow sell setup. We've got a 30-cent stop loss. We're going to need another 4 minutes before it actually triggers, so nothing to do with it right here, but keep an eye on that thing. Let me check out JBL for you, Casey. Jabil Inc. Going long at 92. Getting in all the way up here. Stop loss is 79 basically. Oh, so you got a pretty nice stop loss. Target at 117. Yeah, you're probably going to be in this one for a little while. And honestly, I would not be surprised if it gave you a better chance to add and reduce. You're up. I mean, you're up quite a bit. So getting that 50% retracement would put you back right at this area of support. That would be a pretty safe spot to add. So I don't think you have to worry about being shaken out of this thing. If it comes all the way back down to that $79 area, it's probably not going to work. So you have a pretty wide safe stop there. Like I said, you'll probably get a chance to add before this thing gets all the way up to 117. And that's a little ways away. Yeah, I mean, you're already up. What was this? 20% in like 2 weeks. So just expect a little bit of a correction, whether it's via price or time, I'm not sure, but just expect a little correction. You'll probably get a chance to add and reduce on there. I'm not going to watch SoFi anymore. I'm going to watch this Dow instead of SoFi. SoFi is just not looking that great right now. All right, Dow, it'll be 49.44 by 49.75. So about a 30-cent stop loss. Still has plenty of range. Volume really isn't that good, actually. It's probably my biggest concern is that it's not doing great volume. I really don't want to see it go too much higher than what it's doing right now. 1 second, guys. Alright. Like I said, I'm leaning towards the short side, but I don't have anything on my short list. You guys got any short ideas? Please be my guest. Give them to me. I would love to have some short ideas. No. I'm one low of the day on that. Let's see what COP is up to. Guys, COP, actually, I'm going to keep a very close eye on COP. I think this one's a little bit interesting. I think the COP is a little interesting. Maybe on the sell setup right here. Let's see, we're trading to the right area, right at VWAP. I really don't want to buy this over $100 though. That means $100 is going to be a solid area of resistance or support, whatever. And the volume really isn't that great on this either. So there's definitely some issues with the COP. Definitely some issues here with the COP, but I'm going to watch it still. I'm going to keep my eye on it. Exxon's going to need, like I said, Exxon needs to be under 102. There's too much support there for that. COP, that was tough, man. Like I said, it would be $1.26 on the stops. You definitely have the range to get there, but you're gonna need all the way down to like $99. You need all the way down to 99 if you wanted that full target, full 1R. Dow's moving up a little bit more than what I want to see out of it, actually, all the way back up towards high of the day. So might not be shorting that one. Tesla's all the way back to low of the day. CCL back at low of the day. This is what I was worried about with that buy setup on CCL, man. That first move was too big, and that move down was just too fast. So just the odds are not there for me. The charge point's a little bit interesting, guys. I'm not gonna lie. This charge point buy setup You might be able to scalp this up to the high of the day. So keep an eye on the CHPT. One of the stronger stocks out there for sure. CMCSA still moving up. So I don't see a whole lot else. Watching the maybe charge point for a potential long. Markets are getting a little bit weak down here. Spine Qs have been selling off really since that first 10 minutes of the day. We've been putting in some consistent red bars, pulling into an area of support. See this double top at 421. We're right there on the SPY, so might be able to scalp a long idea out of this here soon. I think CHPT is my favorite idea for that. Charge point's my favorite idea for that here. So 950. High of the day is 26 cents away. So I really don't want a wider stop than that. You probably get about 20 cents, 20, 21 cents. Don't want to see it go too much lower than it is right now. You're going to want to start seeing those bottoming tails, those volume spikes come in here. But definitely keep an eye on it. Definitely keep an eye on that CHPT. Like I said, markets are coming into an area of support. Markets are getting to that 421 spot, 420.50, right where that double top is. Right here. This is likely to be an area of support. Nothing is guaranteed in this business, but we're playing the odds game. We're statistics-based traders, so we're playing the odds. We like, what is the most likely thing that's going to happen? Most likely the SPY will bounce here. Somewhere in this area, because support is an area. It's not a set price. There's not a one number that is support. Support is just an area, so be mindful of that as well, guys. The CHPT is looking more and more interesting. We got another 2 minutes before it's actually a buy setup and we're actually able to get into this thing, but keep an eye on it. We are getting some weakness out of these oil stocks as well, so watch these. There's cop up too. See how the buy setup on or sell setup on cop is getting a little more interesting here as well. Like I said, I do really not feel comfortable getting in over that $100 mark. About 60, 70 cents down there. You could give it a 60-cent stop loss and get out right before that area, which honestly I'm considering doing. We're watching it. I'm watching that COP, guys. COP sell setup. Give it a, like I said, 62-cent stop loss. We're going to need just over the whole number. 100.01 is what we need out of that for full target. So watch that. The Dow's putting in a nice little red bar up here. The sell setup is triggering, but again, like I said, that one wasn't too bad, I suppose. Charge point, buy setup still looking decent. Keep an eye on this COP, guys. COP, probably my top idea at the moment. So like I said, I am still leaning towards the short side. This oil sector has been one of the weaker spots to be all day, so. Oxy, CMCSA, Exxon. I do like COP the best. It's going a little bit further here now. So now that stop, you're going to have to actually give it like a little bit of a tighter stop loss if you want to get out above the whole number. A little bit tighter on the stop loss if you want to do that. I'm still interested in it. Yeah, it's going to have to put my order in right here. So I'm going to go ahead and give it that. Give it a 50-cent stop loss. 50 cents. I'm going to go ahead and put that order in, guys. 101, 100, what is it? 156. 50-cent stop loss. 101.06. Target is 100.06. So we are about to get this order in there. All right. Give us a little bit of room here. All right. Markets. Oh man, I don't know. I'm really not sold on this. I feel like this market's about to bounce. We are in an area of heavy support. I'm looking at this daily chart on the spot. I'm like, we are right there. I'm gonna send it, guys. I think we're gonna be all right. What? Oh, I'm at the limit order it. Are you kidding me now? Shit. I was scared on the trigger. Now I have to limit order this. Well, we'll see if we get filled on it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna hold off on that. I don't like getting in over that $100 mark, man. I'm gonna hold off on the cop. It's not meant to be right now. It's not meant to be right now. Charge point is something I'm looking at though. Because like I said, I think this market's a bounce. Dropping too much for me for longs. Only able to scalp a bit on shop earlier. Yeah, I feel that. It is dropping a little bit, but I like this relative strength at a charge point quite a bit. And like I said, markets are in an area where they are definitely going to bounce. I mean, look at the SPY. We got a double top up here. So we're going to either chop around or bounce. So I think we get some sort of correction. I don't think we just continue dropping. So I'm going to go ahead and get this order ready on charge point. 950. Probably give it like what is high of the day? High of the day is 25 cents. I'll probably just give it like a 24 cent stop loss. 950 by 926. 24 cent stop. Target 974. And limit order in there. All right. So orders in there on the charge point. CHPT 950 by 926. Target is high of the day, basically. Charge point 950 by 926. Like I said, expecting a market bounce right here. The markets are in an area where they're at support. So bounce is expected. Charge point has been one of the stronger stocks out today. This is a clean buy setup, guys. There's no denying that. There's no denying that this buy setup is like a textbook. The range is a bit of a concern. It's already exceeded its range a bit, but all we need is high of the day out of this thing. So shouldn't be asking too much out of it. So Apple is pretty choppy up here. That's off to. I mean, that sell setup's off to a decent start, but I wouldn't be super excited about it. You are at an area of support right down there. Tesla ended up being weak. CCL ended up rolling over. The charge point should be in charge point any second now. Honestly, I would like it to wait for another little bit. We got another half minute before this 5-minute bar completes, which even makes the buy setup better. So there's a short idea. Sorry about that, Casey. Let me check it for you. Let me roll through this here. So CPX, not looking great. Oxy. Oof, man, I'm glad we didn't get into the cop. Glad we held off on that. Good job holding off on the cop. We would have probably been out right now. Probably would have been out for almost a full hour loss. So let me check out CNK. Cinemark Holdings. Ooh, short idea, Casey. I like this. And then we are in the charge point, guys. Did not get any slippage on there, so we are in the CHPT. I'll probably raise my stop up right after I check this idea for Casey. So short idea, entry at 16. Oh yeah, nice entry right here. Stop loss 17. Pretty solid stop. You could be a little safer, maybe go 1750, but 17 is not a bad area. I do like that. Target's going to be down. Something in my eye. Target's probably down to 14. So yeah, next area of support right in that $14 spot. You do have the 50 period moving average, which might be a bit of a concern. This thing is in. This is pretty stage one-esque. This is not really. I mean, the daily chart on like a micro, it is in a bit of a stage two here, but as soon as you break under this $16 area and you put in that lower low, you're going to change that trend. So it's kind of that stage two, getting into stage three. So it might be the start of a stage four. So I do like this trade quite a bit, actually, Casey. This is one of the better ideas I think right now. So I do like this. Only issue, you might chop around a little bit at 16, but like I said, once you get under there, I think 14 is definitely in the works. You might even see the moving average down there at 30 or 13. So not a bad idea on the short side, my man. Good stuff there. All right, charge point is off to a pretty solid start. I'm going to go ahead and raise this stop up to 932. Get a little bit more protection in there. I'll go 931. Just give it that. Just a little bit of room. So what was a 24, now we're at 19, so about 0.8 R risk here, open on the charge point. Like I said, we really don't need a whole lot out of this thing. We really don't need much out of the charge point. And that Dow was a spot to be, wasn't it? Sheesh. That Celsa ended up doing it, no issues, all the way down there already. Man, that was not a bad idea, I suppose. Maybe should have been into that. It was a little bit of a deep retracement, but nonetheless, pretty clean little pullback there. Pretty clean pullback there on the Dow. Apple's still chopping around. Tesla's weak. CCL. I don't see a whole lot else, guys. We're just in the charge point. It's getting a little bit tired up here, but honestly, it's not a surprise, man. We're up to 6 green bars in a row, so no need to worry about the charge point just yet. CVX, guys. CVX looking lower. CVX. I really want to get under the low of the day, but keep an eye on it. Oxy's maybe a little lower. CMCSA, it's got to get under 39. It's got to get under 39. Same with Exxon, it's got to get under 102. Yeah, I don't see a whole lot else here. The COP is still a little bit interesting, I suppose. We can still watch COP. Man, that thing would have been a dog, man. Would have got you in. My stop probably would have been right about there. Right about there would have just peekabooed you out there. Peekaboo in, peekaboo out. All right, so I guess we're watching this oil sector a little bit still. Keep an eye on that oil sector. Otherwise, I don't see a whole lot that I like. We are in the charge point. It's off to a pretty solid start. Up, we have like a 25-cent stop loss, already up 10 cents, so up about 2/5 of an R. Up 2/5, almost a half R there. All right. It's already 9:50 or 10:15, man. The day's flying by. We'll be out of here before we know it. Hopefully we get a little bit of profit. Come on, charge point. Keep going there, buddy. SPY, Q still hanging out right at support. Like I said, I still think we could bounce to VWAP on the SPY and the Qs probably as well. Damn it. Yeah. Well, Qs have a little bit more drop though too. I mean, they've been up a lot. Tech stocks have been up quite a bit, so Qs have a little more room to drop. But nonetheless, 350 is definitely, I mean, that's a whole number. You know how humans are. We like those whole numbers, so 350 is an area right now. I mean, I'm still impressed. I'm still thinking about that JBL, man. That thing was JBL that we were looking? No, it was SNPS, I think. Yeah, man, it's S&PS, dude. That was nice. I mean, breakout. Like this is you want your stocks to be in a position of power. This is a position of power right here. A wide range bar over resistance that shows power. Pulls back, nice little rest, bouncing right at support, and just rips. And that I really wish I would have seen this, man. I really wish I would have seen this thing. It might have been tough to trade though, because I would have probably had more. If I saw this, I probably would have put a pre-market order in at 398 with a stop loss of like $20 or something like that. So I probably wouldn't even got filled because it gapped up way over that. But nonetheless, just a really nice position right there. Nice trade. Nice safe spot to buy a stock. Very safe spot to buy a stock. I mean, the reasons are pretty obvious too. I mean, it's so safe because you broke out, so you know there's buyers here. Pull back to an area of resistance. So what is the ceiling becomes the floor. So now you know you got an area of support here. You know you have more support down here where you consolidated at. Like if this stock fails, it's gonna fail. It's like you're not gonna be shaken out of that thing. You're not gonna get whipped around. Like it's just a nice spot to buy a stock. SPY continuing to bounce here. A little bit more room to that VWAP. So charge points looking good as well. We need about another 10 cents out of this thing. So we're up over half hour on charge point. I am, this was 24. I'm going to go just under, I'm going to go 935. So just about half hour risk open on the charge point. A little bit more than half hour risk open on charge point. And we need a little bit more out of this thing for full target. Another 9 cents there. So looking good so far. Man, we really saved ourselves with not taking that top. We saved ourselves. That would have been probably almost a 4 hour loss, point 0.8, 0.9 hour loss. So you got to pat myself on the back sometimes, man. Like I said, the $100 mark really is what sold me. Right, this area of support, you can see it on the hourly chart pretty well. I mean, $100 is, look at all this price action, man. Bouncing above it, bouncing right around it. Like, it's not in a clear void, you know? And you only have a week of a void, so not a whole lot of room there. CF, you're looking at CF, Casey. Let's take a peek. Let's take a peek at CF. Daily chart, short. Ooh, I like the shorts. Short. Ooh, wow. Wow, look at that. You're in a nice stage. Man, this is a good example of market cycles, guys. See the stage one, you chop around, pretty equal high, equal low. Then you get into that stage two where you get above these moving averages, start making higher high, higher low. And then you get to that stage three where it's just real choppy, just chop, 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 not a whole lot of direction. Now we're getting into that stage four. You're making lower lows, lower highs. So you're getting into the right stage, Casey. I like that. Short entry on a stage four. Getting in at $60. You're getting a little bit extended down there at 60. Stop loss is 64, 60. So up here a little bit. A little bit tight on the stop loss, but not too bad. Target down to 53. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, your target's in a good spot. Might get a little hiccup at 55. You see we had that support and resistance right there. So maybe a hiccup at 55, but I think you can definitely get down to 53. And like I said, the market stage is in the right spot for this stock. So definitely trending in the right direction. You guys know the trend is your friend. I'm sure all of you guys have heard that at some point in your trading career. The trend is your friend. Casey, my man, that is a trade that is with the trend. So you and the trend are definitely some friends right now. You guys are not beefing by any means. Guys, charge point, we need literally one more penny out of this thing. Man, this is when I get really tempted to just cut it off. I'm gonna go ahead and put my stop and break even. I'm not gonna lose on it now, but come on, baby, give me that one penny. You guys might be asking yourself, man, why don't you just take profits? Why don't you just get out? It's like, well, here's the thing, man. Well, okay, now I should definitely be getting out. What the hell? 9.7. It hit my target. Come on. But at a certain point, it's like, well, where do you take profits at? Where do you cut it off at? Because I mean, if I were to get out right now, I would lose out on about a half hour, or not half hour, 0.05 hours. So I mean, those things add up eventually. So, all right, but whenever it's doing this, there we go. All right. Whew. It's getting a little sketchy there for a second. There we go. Charge point out, full target. I mean, that's just a clean buy setup, guys. It really is. Really is just a nice clean buy setup. Strong move with the market trend. You can see here we were getting in right when the market was down there at an area of support. So again, the trend is your friend. The trend is your friend. Got in on LSPD. Lead Summit Police Department. What? How do you know? LSPD, a little bit on the thinner side of volume right now. I guess the spread is all right, only 1 cent spread, so not too bad. Over high of the day, looks like you got a little more void. So this thing gets over high of the day, maybe you go higher, break out there. It is in a bit of a downtrend, but I mean it's a little bit sloppy, but I mean each to each his own. As long as you have a trading plan, you know what you're doing, and you got your risk managed, then by all means take your trade, my man. You mind? Don't feel like obligated bullwins, but if you want to, you can let me know what the entry parameters are. Give a little bit more in depth of what your trade looks like. I think my entry parameters on this was 950 by stop loss of 926. All right. Guys, I'm pretty indifferent about the markets right now, honestly. I mean, I was confident in that bounce because, I mean, we sold off a couple bars in a row into an area of support. You're likely going to get a bounce there, but now I don't know. Now I don't know. Now we have this high of the day resistance. We got low of the day support. So, I mean, I don't know how much higher we go. I don't know if we chop around and go lower. I mean, kind of indifferent right now with the markets. Kind of just in between on whether they're going higher or not, which makes me hesitant to trade. And we got 1 hour locked on the charge point. Got 1 hour locked in there, but nothing on the long list is really looking good to me, honestly. Maybe some short ideas if these things get back to low of the day, but I'm not a huge fan of any of them. Yeah, I really don't have anything on the long side. Might do some scanning for another short position, but like I said, I'm pretty indifferent about the markets right now, so it's going to have to be something that really just absolutely knocks my socks off for me to take a trade on it. That Dow was not too bad. You can still watch it under low of the day, actually. Guys, keep it on the Dow. It's probably the only thing that's really interesting. It also is doing pretty crappy volume, though, so be mindful of the low volume there on the Dow. Target is a little interesting, but man, it's just so extended. It's just so, I mean, it's down bad. Like, getting volume spikes are increasing. Like, I don't know if I can take target with confidence that's going much lower. This Pfizer's not a horrible idea, actually. This thing has some good range left. A little bit of a void down here, so maybe keep an eye on Pfizer. 36.95. Yeah, guys, watch that Pfizer, actually. I might get in this. Markets. I'm not rushing into anything, so I'm going to add it to my list. If it gives me an entry, great. If not, so be it. I'm not going to be rushing into that, so it doesn't look like it's going to hang out for that entry there. Moe's having a pretty down day. Win is hard to borrow. Boo. We're going to KDP, Keurig, Dr. Pepper. Let's check it out, man. Keurig, Dr. Pepper. All right. Short. All right. Perfect. I like the short idea. Looking like, ooh, this one looks like it's in the early stage 4. This is a long stage 3 it was in. Now it's not very early stage 4, so I like it so far. Getting in right here, 31 bucks. Stop at 32.50. Yeah, pretty nice. Target of 28.25. Man, this thing doesn't move a whole lot. The average range ratio is pretty thin there. So this is gonna be a grinder. Target down to 28.25. So yeah, pretty decent target there. Next area of support's down in that $28 spot. So definitely got the room to get down there. Maybe you have a little hiccup right there. I guess 31 is where you're getting in at. So you should be good there. Should be good. Looks pretty solid. Definitely that nice void for sure. I mean, there's a real nice void. Next area of support's back in 2 years ago. So yeah, looking good on that KDP. I like that. Stop loss is in a good spot too, over that little area of support, resistance, whatever it is. Not too shabby. Let's see what these stocks are doing today. What's my swing trade list is doing, guys? Let's see how the swing trades are up to. Fisker hanging out. MDB kind of hanging out. Toast hanging out. I mean, a lot of hanging out going on in these things. Ooh, dash pulling a little bit more than what you want to see. Didn't really have any ideas that I was confident in taking today, so did not enter any trades. This thing is gonna annoy me. I think I got tagged out of Rome the other day, literally by 4 pennies. Oh, just tagged out. CRM was really the same. I got tagged out right there at break even. I got in right here at like 206 something. Barely got tagged out. Now it's all the way up over 2R. That was a good exit there. DT's looking all right. This is another one that tagged me out, man. Tagged me out at 79. Now it's all the way back up. Been just getting peekabooed out there, man. I think somebody's watching my trades or something. Somebody's on me, keeping a close eye. No. So there goes the Dow again. Still moving lower. That honestly was probably the best short idea today, guys. Not gonna lie. That sell setup on Dow was not too bad. 30-cent stop loss. You're down 50 cents. I don't see anything else. Really scalp that charge point, man. Pulled the cheese on that thing. This is why I really was adamant about getting a high of the day target. So I didn't trust it to go any higher than high of the day, but I thought we had a chance to get there. So looks like that ended up being exactly what happened. Otherwise, guys, like I said, I don't really see much. Markets are trying to grind lower, but I'm not sold on it. I'm not sold that we're just going to sell off and get a nice clean move to the short side. I think we kind of chop around for the rest of the day. I think we're going to chop around right here. Just hang out, not do much. Yeah, so I'm going to call it a day here in about, I don't know, 5, maybe 10 minutes or so. If you guys have any questions or comments, make sure you throw them up in the chat log. If you are not already, make sure you check out the Lane Trading Discord. It is free to join. You got some good resources in there. You can get some nice personalized feedback. I am live in that voice channel every day from about 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock Eastern time. So make sure you check it out. You can come in, chat it up, get some questions answered personally. Ask some more in-depth questions. Maybe I feel like you guys sometimes don't like asking questions on the chat log. I think you guys are afraid of looking like you're going to be a novice or something. There's no reason for that, man. The only stupid question I've ever seen is the one that wasn't asked. That's it. The only stupid question is the one you never ask because you're too scared to ask it. You got something on your mind, you're wondering about anything. Ask the question, man. Too many people in this world are afraid to ask for help. Man, everybody would be so much better off if whenever you got in a situation where you needed help, you just freaking ask for it. But man, people are so stubborn, so just blinded by their ego. Really, that's what it comes down to. You're just blinded by your ego. You have too much ego to ask. You don't want to ask for help. It just makes you sound weak. You think for some reason, but it doesn't. Just puts you in a better position. Puts the person you're asking in a better position most of the time. Most people love to help. Most people love to help each other. So give those people an opportunity to help, especially if you need it. Especially if you need it. Don't be afraid, guys. Don't be afraid. Have no fear. The market is always here. Man, spies. I mean, this was a pretty clean little breakout on the Qs too. Actually, over this 324, we gave it $9 stop maybe. Up $29. Up 3R on that. If you give it a $9 stop, that's a pretty nice little breakout right there. There's no denying it. All right, guys. Like I said, I really don't see myself taking any other trades today. Apple's real choppy. Not much to do with it. Maybe you can scalp it over 178, but not my cup of tea. The Dow is kind of hanging out now. Tesla's real choppy, right at that 200 moving average. So no surprise, it's just chopping around in that area. CCL started off strong, rolled over. I was worried about the CCL buy setup. This is why I didn't take it. So this first initial move is just way too big. You exceeded your range. I didn't exceed it, but basically exceeded your range in that first 3 minutes. It's like, man, good luck going any higher there. You need rest. Didn't do anything with that. Charge point, man, we traded charge point like textbook, man. Just scalped out right at high of the day. Pulling back here now. CVX is just chopping around. It might be the best short idea, but I don't know. It's making higher highs now, so be careful. Oxy's looking real choppy. CMCSA just never got down to that $32 area. You got one more, Casey? We'll throw it on up, brother. I'm about to call it a day here. A couple more minutes. Okay, because like I said, I don't really have much else for you guys. I'll be on that Discord channel if you guys want to chat it up, like I said. But for day trading purposes, I think I'm going to take my 1R and call it a day. I think I'm going to take my 1R, call it a day. Like I said, I really didn't see a whole lot. We probably could have got the Dow. The Dow sell setup, not a bad idea. But other than that, I mean, you had to be real aggressive to get one of those 1 minute charts. And the only thing that really comes to mind is the Apple. The Apple little pseudo 1 minute 3 bar play right here, right off the open. Would have been like, it would have had to go low today. So it would have been like a 50-cent stop. It went almost $2, so it ripped. It got there, no doubt about it. But that would have been a little bit aggressive there. But like I said, other than that, I didn't see anything on the 1 minute that I really liked. So, like I said, I think we did a pretty good job of navigating the markets today. Was not the cleanest market, pulled back a little bit, kind of chopped around. Qs kind of faked that, looked like they might be going higher, and then just rolled over. Now they're hanging out right at 351. All right, so let me check out this thing. PGTX. Let's see here. Daily chart short entry. So you want to short here. This is a little bit of a strong stock going short. I mean, you are on a stage 2 right now. Making higher highs, higher lows, higher high. So this could just be a higher low that you're putting in. Let's see how tight you are. 25.50 stop loss at 29, so about a $30 stop loss. Target down to 18.50. Yeah, that might be a little bit of a tougher one there, just because you are gonna have to deal. I mean, the support's really like right in this area of support, like $20 to like 24. I definitely think that's going to be an area of support. Uh, like I said, this isn't a stage two uptrend. You're above all the moving averages. You're making higher highs, higher lows. So this one's a little bit less hot to trot on this one, I guess. Like I said, stage two uptrend is the main thing for me. You're not exactly trading with the trend on this one. So yeah, you're gonna have to fight through the 50-period moving average. You're gonna have to fight through that area of support, the area of support at $20. So you definitely have some reasons to not take the trade. But I mean, it's sold off a little bit, pulled back. So maybe you get it moved down to 18.50. But I like your other short ideas a lot better, honestly. That KDP and the CF I thought were a lot better. Just trading with the trend mainly. And like I said, trend is your friend, so trading against it is always a little bit more difficult there. But, all right. So, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a day here. Honestly, I'm gonna get going. Gotta get some work done here. Was a pretty solid day, I think. Like I said, we navigated these markets pretty well. Could have been aggressive with a few more trades here, but really not anything that was like blatantly missed. That's where it's just like smacking you in the face. Like, why didn't you take that? We have had those days. I think we had a day last week where I don't know if I took a trade at all, and there was just everything was popping off. So it wasn't like that, man. We did a good job of navigating the markets, making a little bit of money today. So we will be back at it tomorrow, 9:20 Eastern time. Like I said, if you're not already in that Lang Trading Discord, make sure you check that out. It is a great resource for new traders, experienced traders, whatever level you're on. Make sure you check it out. I will be live in that voice channel right after I get off of here. So come say what's up. With that, I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. We'll be back at it again, 9:20 Eastern time. Ready to rock and roll, man. Hey, man, this is going to be a good week. It's a little short week, already Tuesday. Whew. We got one more day left in the month, last day of the month. So see you guys then. Yeah, have a good one.